Good morning, all. It's Easter Monday. Uh, if I see one more person say that Easter is based on Ishtar, I'll go mad. It's not. Do some research beyond a Wiccan with her lebias clattering against her kneecaps. Now, firstly, some very good news. Enoch Rain got through the operation fine. And of course, he's in a bad way because it's the severity and the brutality of the operation. He's in a lot of pain, but he's he's still on this planet in this realm at this time, and let's keep that going. He basically, with the help of the surgeon and I believe the help of everyone sending him healing energy and love also helping, as well as his own fortitude as a man, the kind of person that he is. Remember, he's the man who destroyed fracking on these islands, almost single-handedly, I might add. Although there was lots of others, but he was kind of like the one everyone rallied around with privately, not the state-sanctioned environmentalist, the real environmentalist. So that's really good news, and long may it continue. Keep those good thoughts and those healing energies flying towards him, because that stuff works. Now, uh, so yeah, here we are back again, the Corona Chronicles, and yeah, it's just like when someone is lying about another person and like running a smear campaign, and the less they can prove, or as things are disproved, their lies become more and more psychotic. And it starts to reveal that they were actually the liars to begin with, and they were the ones who were creating lies in order to destroy any link back to them and their bullshit and their mental illness and their obsessions. Well, that's what the media is like, and the governments and the bureaucrats are like right now with this whole the COVID-19 thing. You're seeing more sentimentality appeals to the when they say that the last refuge of a scoundrel is prayer. The last refuge of a scoundrel is playing on emotions, sentimentality. And so they're playing on sentimentality and things like this. They're playing on, you know, dancing nurses. And here in Ireland, they have this new stupid thing like light up your life or light up your arse or something like that, where you're supposed to shine a light in the window for all the COVID. It's all sentimental bollocks, and it's always the stuff. You're being Rogered when they get to that. Let's see, like our president Bilbo Baggins, to see him there, doing his little propaganda thing, like a horrible little Marxist, and all these like Z-list Irish stars, doing it, and so on, and it's just ridiculous. And the dancing nurses at the NHS, and but at the same time too, the dark deep state is never far behind this. So you're given two things. It's the classic psychopathic thing. I'll love you, but I'll fucking kill you. That kind of thing. And that's what they get. That's what they get. And the good cop, bad cop thing. And the New York Times did a piece the other day that was, it was one of those, you hear me say that, like when the day 9/11 happened, the overwhelming feeling that I got was pure evil. Nothing else, just pure evil afoot. And this this piece in the New York Times, a total rag at this point, deep state rag, was some asshole, typical filthy journalist and newspaper journalist, like most of them are, human waste, and talking about why these conspiracy theories flourish around the coronavirus. Then you have all the usual government psychiatrists and spooks who say things like, oh, the usual stuff about conspiracy theorists. They're compensating for problems in their lives and it makes them feel powerful. That usual bullshit. But also, he literally, this journalist literally added one line about people's concerns about their loss of rights in a post-coronavirus world. Completely legitimate question. and like devoted one tiny line to that, and then the rest of it was all about kooks who were burning down 5G towers. Now, the 5G tower things, if they were burned down, they're being burned down by the fucking intelligence services. And it's very hard to trace down the actual real stories on this stuff. And also kept constantly referring to the fact that someone said bananas will cure the virus, and the word bananas appeared about 4 times in the article. Bananas, mental illness. Herbies goes bananas kind of thing, and that reinforce it. It was real dark, deep state stuff. There was the kind of level of gaslighting by a journalist that you can only like learn at things like the Bilderberg and trilateral events. And really, it was, you read this, you're halfway through this article, and the sense of pure evil just came pouring off it. MSN posted a thing last night. Would you live in a police state in order to get your freedom back from? See, they're rolling it out now. How anyone could believe that this is just a straightforward virus, and we're being locked up, and all this stuff is done for our own good, and the removal of our civil liberties is for our own good. There's something seriously wrong with you at this point. They just have the normies completely controlled with terror, and they're losing their minds. And I'm hearing stories of people in their pajamas cutting the grass in their lawn in their houses because they don't know what to do. You'll have people who they will do anything. It's the Milgram experiment on a vast scale. The Milgram experiment was that they split up a bunch of college students into prison guards, make believe, and prisoners, and within no time the prison guards became brutal thugs, and the prisoners became their victims. And you can see this is happening on a global scale now with this whole thing. It's remarkable to watch, actually. Again, don't get emotionally involved in this stuff. That's what normies do. Observe, pay attention, learn how to survive regardless, and flourish. I'll be happy. And yeah, fascinating stuff. But you can see the dark state now is really making its move. They want almost permanent lockdown, and they have people all frightened. We need another year. All these dark state people around governments and bureaucrats. We need the Bill Gates types. We need another year, and if we don't, we can't let them out without the vaccine. You can see where this is all going. We'll give you your freedom if you do what we tell you. I don't even believe there's a vaccine coming or anything like that. It's all about, it'll be like the post. It'll be like 9/11. You can't get on a plane these days without being half naked, off your shoes, your belt, this kind of thing. Searched, and we now accept that as the iris scanned. We now accept that as the new norm. Now it'll be the same with viruses. We'll have to wear face masks probably on planes, wash, disinfect everything. And it's one more thing to turn us into livestock and animals, because that's what they want. Because the more control you have over someone, or they have over you, the more you can get away with it. There was a story there about a woman, I think it was in England, where she started criticizing her boyfriend, and within a couple of years was actually gashing him open with knives. And she slowly and incrementally did it. And the reason why he stayed in the relationship, even though he was rescued by the police days from death, and like all these female pathological types who run smear campaigns and this kind of thing, she basically portrays herself as the victim. And she got 7 years in prison, which was a slap on the wrist considering the evidence against her. The reason why he said he stayed with her was because he was worried that if she stopped attacking him, she'd start attacking their 2 kids. And it was one of the saddest and most tragic things you've ever read in your life. And I hear people say things, how can a man stand there and let this bitch do that to him? Well, when it's done piecemeal and incrementally and scientifically applied by a psychopathic mind, it can make you question reality in all kinds of ways. And this is what they're doing. This is exactly what's happening with this coronavirus lockdown, whatever you want to call it. This incremental destruction of your sense of self security, your sense of self what's the word, autonomy. So, for instance, you say you're a divorced father and your kids live in another country, or divorced mother, your kids live in another country with the other parent, and you're going to do anything to see those kids in a post-corona world, even if it means getting microchipped, which I don't think a lot, we're already chipped, and all kinds of vaccines that might make you sick or could make you cured. I don't know. I've no interest in the vaccine story. I'm not questioning vaccines or anything like that. And but just saying, you'll literally sign your rights away to be able to get on a plane and see your kids again. Now the NHS, they're talking about an NHS app that if you have it on your phone, it lets you pass. It means you're corona clear. You can go back to do things again. You see, it's just so sinister. It's so fucking sinister. And there was a story in I told you the one yesterday, the girl with cystic fibrosis, and that's they take extreme cases, and the numbers are all over the place now. No one can get it. And the kits are giving false positives constantly, and yeah, just look at it. Just look at what it is. It's amazing. It's just here we are, all the things we spoke about. But it's abuse. That's what people have to ultimately understand in all this, that it's abuse. You ever hear about the Irish Magdalene laundries, where girls who had babies out of wedlock? You saw my Tomb documentary, or even there was the fact that they could have had sex before marriage and even get pregnant. Their parents would put them, well, most likely the nuns or the priest would rob them, would convince or brainwash or gaslight the parents to put their kids into their daughters. But most times the parents did it willingly, and that's never talked about, into the Magdalene laundries, and they would be there washing away their sins forever, like doing the laundry. Well, we're all Magdalene laundry types now. This is what we are. We're washing away our sins of having, of this corona thing. It's been put on the people. It's now kind of like it's the secular version of original sin, and you absolve yourself by getting your all clear certificate or your all clear pass. But right now we've upset the gods, the secular gods, and we have to redeem ourselves by doing as they tell us. You can see how the Abrahamic thing has infused itself so deeply into every aspect of life. And again, there'll be people leaving comments on this. My sister's auntie's mother's uncle's son, their three friends, all in their 20s, were a young kid, all died, dropped dead in the streets of coronavirus. How can you say it's not true? Even their canary is on a respirator. You're hearing a lot of that kind of nonsense. And how can you say there's no such thing as the coronavirus? I'm not saying there's no such thing. No one is saying that. This again is like the deep state has got into your head. I'm quite surprised at how little resistance, other than the usual stoner who can't get enough weed and leaves passive-aggressive remarks. I've been surprised at how little comments have been on these videos since I've started doing these Corona Chronicles things. Very few, tiny numbers, relatively. Overwhelmingly, mostly people, and not just the usual people who comment on my videos. People who just show up in nowhere saying, you're absolutely right about this. Of course I'm right about it. You're right about it. It's obvious as clear as day. Yes, there's a coronavirus. Yes, there was a pandemic. But they're still using it as an excuse to destroy the economies, the deep state themselves, and to keep it, make us turn us more into farm animals. If you can't see that now, there's no hope for you. When you see the MSN publish an article yesterday saying, would you accept a police state if it meant you could go back to work? I mean, this is like that's an ultimatum. That's an ultimatum. It's like the gangsters going around to you open a new shop or a new store, and the gangsters come around and they go, that's a nice window you have there in the front of the shop. That's a nice shoe store you have. It'd be a bit of a shame if somebody burnt it to the ground. How about giving us a little bit of your profits consider it insurance, stay in business? That's exactly what they're doing to us. Protection racket. That's exactly what they're doing. Do as we say, and we let you be human again. And you should really just laugh it off. That's what you should really do, is just laugh it off. Because I know people are saying things like, well, it's the end of our freedom. Well, I got news for you. We've never really had freedom ever since we were probably cavemen. We've always been under the control of some kind of system, whether it was tribal or whatever. The thing is that you must learn how to flourish within that. During the Khmer Rouge, or during the whatever. There was always people who it's just like in the Shawshank Redemption. I can still hear every note of of the symphony up here in my head. They can't get in here, and that's where they really want to get. And you go to places like Sweden and Denmark particularly, not so much Norway, and you see how they've gotten into people's heads there. That they're compliant robots, but now we're seeing that all our neighbours here, Britain, Ireland, America, Canada, everywhere. You're seeing what you. Like I said, this has been a great gift for you. You now understand that those. You now understand that what is around you, what kind of people are out there. It's not pretty, is it? And I've been telling you this for years. You get like you get one little fragment of fame or notoriety like I have, and by God, you'll see the human race for what it is, and it's not fucking pretty for the most part. And then you soon give up right away on wanting to help them all, because most of them would slit your throat in a second if some authority figure told them to. And now you're all finding out what I personally found out. The human race is not pretty. It's not worth your personal effort in wanting to save them. That's all in your mind. Save yourself and save the ones you loved. And that's all you have to do, nothing else. So don't get too, when I say save, I mean live a good life. Do the best you can. It's a beautiful sunny day here today. Go look at the buds coming on the flowers, the first butterflies, the birds are back, the blue skies. Like, here's an example of it. We've had so much blue skies over these islands, and especially this part of Ireland, unprecedented blue skies. If I say to someone, yeah, well, the reason for that is there's no air traffic, and they go, well, that's how they respond. No, geez, I never thought about that. Jesus, you're right. That makes perfect sense. There's less planes, and there's no planes in the sky, therefore it's not clouding up the sky. They go, what do you do it? They do this. Mm, 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 That's literally what they're like. Mm, 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 mm. You might get one who goes, oh really? I never thought about that. Could be. Brothers would go, uh, 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 uh.